like to bring up a real dear friend of mine, someone that's no stranger to any of you that are here today. He is literally the man that's here, there, and everywhere. He not only travels all over the United States, he travels across the globe. He's probably been to your country. We all know him affectionately as Dr. Joe. But Dr. Joe Granera, he has had 30 years in research of botanicals. He serves on our head of our advisory board. He's a friend to all of you. He is our company spokesman, extolling the virtues of all of our products. Welcome to the stage, Dr. Joe Granera.
I got a bad case of loving you. No pills gonna cure my ill. I got a bad case of
Thank you, brother. I need the clicker. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Wow, it's an honor to be here again to serve our incredible distributors from around the world. I've had the awesome opportunity to get to spend time in each and every country that we're in, and looking forward to South America and opening that incredible market. There's got to be a why of what we're doing, and that's one of the things that I'm excited about XFuse, is there's two parts to our company. There's a phenomenal business opportunity which you all participate in. But there's also a product side, and that's where I live. And my world is about phytochemicals. And some of the things that we do with our products are absolutely incredible when it comes to science and technology. So I want to start talking about the whys of what we're doing with our products. And first of all, when we started with the concept of making an energy drink for the world market, it was a daunting task. And the reason is because most of the companies, multi-billion-dollar companies that are in this industry and in that sector of the market, are making products that now the United States government, the government in Australia, the governments in Asia have tremendous questions about the ingredients in these incredible products that are driving an industry now in the billions of dollars. And we had the audacity as a small company to take on that challenge, to make an energy drink that was, first of all, healthy. And as a doctor, most of the things that we do, we live by an oath. And the oath is, first, do no harm. And when we looked at energy drinks, we didn't really think, honestly, that it was going to be possible to make a compound that was going to ramp up energy, create tremendous health in the body, and do that when we didn't have millions and millions and millions of dollars of research funds to do that. So we started out with a concept. And the concept was, we knew that energy was driven by hydration levels in the body. And Paul has talked a tremendous amount already about some of the problems and challenges with dehydration, but it's absolutely critical. And our bodies work in a narrow range. And so we want to do things that put products in the body, ingredients in the body that assist the body to do some incredible things. And I'm going to be talking about some of these ingredients. This is the science side. It's not great marketing material, we know. But the goal is to give you the confidence and the belief that what we do here at XFuse from a product side is, first of all, you're the person we have in mind. Our distributors, we're trying to create products that are absolutely top shelf, number one in integrity of the ingredients, but also in integrity of the science. And so that's what we've done, addressing some very, very key issues. Hydration is one of those. And in clinical practice, after 30 years, and many doctors have told me the same thing, that most patients that they're seeing, whether they're a psychologist or a psychiatrist or they're a general surgeon or whether they're a chiropractor, a massage therapist, anybody in the healthcare arena sees people on a daily basis that are dehydrated and have no energy. And the solution is not simply stimulating the central nervous system so that it will be ramped up only to crash later. And that now has been shown to be a very dangerous strategy. So what we've done is looked into the science and the phytochemistry and have brought the best of science together in our ingredients so that the product will work on a vast array of people. And when I can tell you that our scientific team that developed GreenZilla, the target market was not the young people up to age 30, because those people are dehydrated and yes, they have fatigue, but the physiology of why they're doing that is not as critical as people my age or Eddie's age. When you're past 40, the ability of your body to retain water drops dramatically. So we incorporated in our product chemical constituents from plants, phytochemicals, that have the ability to interact with each and every one of the cells in your body. And part of the magic of what we do in terms of hydration is drive more water inside the cell of the human body. Each and every cell, with the exception of fat cells, and they don't need any more help, especially here in America. So most of the products that we see on the market have had the challenges of trying to deal with dehydration, but they've tried to do it with synthetic compounds, things that were just not what the human body needs to address the issue of lack of energy and the ability to hydrate. So we had a different approach and a different strategy. And I want to give you an example of why some of these governments are really down on the energy drink market. And here's an example. There's a couple of products on the market. One is called AMP, and this is not XFuse information. This information comes from trade magazines and trade journals, but the sugar content of one of these energy drinks is equal to 6 glazed donuts. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were a mom and my kid was tired, the last thing I would do would be to send them to overindulge on cheap carbohydrates, simple sugars, and poor carbohydrates in terms of some of the bread materials that in these donuts. So that's a devastating load to the human system. Now, will that product ramp up energy? Yes, it will, because of the synthetic caffeine and the ability of that product to ramp up the central nervous system. That does work, but there's a downside. The downside is there are side effects, and the side effects of these very energy drinks, number one, is dehydration. And the momentary rise in nervous system stimulation drops dramatically in a couple of hours, leaving the person more tired, more dehydrated than when they started. And that was not our goal. And one of the other drinks, there's another one on the market called Full Throttle. A consumption of it is equal to 11 croissants. Now that to me, again, can you imagine eating 11 croissants and the impact that that has on the human system. It's devastating. And we have a healthy alternative to that strategy. And to me, that represented a great breakthrough in the industry of energy drinks. Just critically important. So when we look at the challenge with the doctors, most doctors advise their patients, and you're going to see some Olympic athletes and some people that are using our products at the highest level of performance. Water is the critical tool. And so we develop strategies to take this phytochemistry through 2 years of research and learn the molecular structures that take and drive that cold water even more deeply inside the cell. And that's real important. But here's the magical thing. Some of these botanical constituents, we have learned, not only drive water inside the cell, but they close the cell to not allow the water to leave. So the product that we consume as GreenZilla brings water in and helps prevent it from leaving the body so that we have adequate hydration levels. And that's a strategy, and we've looked at every energy drink on the market. That is a strategy that no one on the planet has thought about in the formulation of an energy drink. And the reason is it's too expensive to do. And we've now created a product. As Paul said, it's now unbelievably economical to take a squirt of GreenZilla, put it in a liter of water, and consume it. It's one of the healthiest strategies from a health and wellness standpoint on earth. So, what is GreenZilla? What can it do? When you're adequately hydrated and you've got energy metabolism that starts in the brain with not stimulation, but our product was designed to take the unbalanced brain chemistry and balance it, bring it back into what in medical terms is called homeostasis. In Japan and in Asia, out of balance is part of the yin and the yang system, something that's been talked about historically for over 5,000 years. When the body gets out of balance, it begins to bring on disease. And so our product, again, helps people bring those nutrients in, and when the body's in balance, it then signals and says, if we have some fat on our body, we can now exit that fat because we're properly hydrated. Those toxins that are stored in fat can now leave the body. And that's an incredibly important tool long term for health and wellness. Can you feel better? Absolutely, when you have the product. It increases the ability for you to, because the water is now locked in the cell and we're feeding the cell with food, not synthetic chemicals, that the body has the ability to ramp up and use those chemicals long term for endurance. And I used to be an endurance athlete, running up to 100 miles a week in training. And I can tell you the critical part was getting water and maintaining water inside the cells so that you could perform. So our product has the ability to enhance endurance. Lower aches and pains. In my clinical practice, probably 50% of the people over 40 already had chronic pain in an ankle, a knee, a hip, in the spine, in the neck, in the temporomandibular joints. And one of the reasons is because the body cannot deal with some of those arthritic changes without adequate fluids in the tissues. And so there's another key benefit. Don't think of GreenZilla as just a young kid's energy drink. Those of us that are over 40 with aches and pains, this is part of the incredible strategy of putting our products in the human system and allowing it to do what it's magically designed to do. And obviously it increases hydration. We've talked a lot about that. Let's see if my clicker can go through here to the next slide. Okay. Now, ingredients. I don't like to talk about all the science of our ingredients because it is horrible marketing material. But we've got some cutting-edge science in our products that are really quite unbelievable. And when we started, the goal was, we knew in athletes, especially young athletes, that our product would be used by those people. So the very first thing we did by design was to put into our product molecular compounds that had everything known to man: carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, enzyme structures that drive our internal chemistry. That was the design of our product. So we use an ingredient called blue-green algae. And this compound, it has been discovered, is a complete food. And I won't talk about all of the ingredients, but we combined it with an organic rice extract so that any child or any person in their 30s or any elderly person that took our product would get internal nutrition that is complete, that's got a little bit of everything that the body needs to drive the chemistry correctly. So that product and that ingredient was incredible, but what we work on is synergy. And so we talked about balancing brain chemistry. This particular compound has in it a compound called PEA. And this PEA compound in medicine is called the love drug. And the love drug makes the brain feel good about the human body, the body that it's driving. And so we knew that that compound is one of the most sought after compounds in the world because it exists in one other place on the planet, and that's in chocolate. And the ability of that compound to help balance the brain chemistry is what millions and millions and millions, probably over 1 billion people a day, consume chocolate so that they can feel better. And so we built that component into our product with this blue-green algae. Another compound, absolutely incredible, is niacinamide, vitamin B3. And this compound is available on the world market in grades of junk all the way up to pharmaceutical medicine grade. And what we found was an all-natural source of vitamin B3, niacinamide. And one of the reasons is because we knew this energy drink would be used around the world by people over 40 that had aches and pains. And so the first energy drink in the world that we know of addressed the issue of pains in the human body. And that, again, is something that most people had never thought about because, again, these ingredients are extremely expensive. To another compound that we're really excited about, I started work and research on green tea back in the 1990s when we were looking at the Japanese people and wondering, why are you living longer than we are here in America? We spend more money and we've got more allocation towards health care than any country in the world, and yet Japan's healthier and Asia is healthier, as are 37 other countries in the world. Why is that? Well, one of the things that research said is that the consumption of green tea in Asia is one of the reasons they have less cancer, less heart disease, less diabetes, and less strokes than other people in the world. And they attribute that to green tea. One of the reasons we selected green tea was for all of its biological values, but the main thing was it contained naturally occurring caffeine, very low levels that work synergistically with the other compounds in green tea. So it gave us the opportunity to use the magic of caffeine. And it is a magical substance used in pharmaceutical medicine of all types to help deliver other drugs and nutrients into the cells of the body. So this became a critical tool for us to be able to use that green tea compound in our drink. Another one, inositol, another incredible compound that really improves the function of the liver. Now, we're talking about an energy drink, and we're talking about balancing brain chemistry, hydration into the cell, and the ability to help with pain. Unbelievable. And the ability now to help the liver clean out poisons that are stored in the body, or to detoxify the chemicals that may be in our air or our water or our food. And those are critical issues that we're all going to face as we age. So that became another critical part of our ingredient formulation. The next one, a very special extract that one of my colleagues went to China in the year 1965, when Americans didn't go to China. It was not acceptable. It was not, you just couldn't do it. But because he was an eminent scientist, he was able to go over there and work with the Chinese at the University of Beijing and develop some of the most incredible extractions of ginseng that the world had ever seen. And we've got access to that incredible compound, and it's in our product. And the reason, it's called a lipotropic agent. It helps support the health of the liver. Whether the liver is super healthy or whether the liver is diseased, it's a tremendous support tool for that. N-acetyltyrosine. Now this is almost looks like some kind of a chemical, but this is a naturally occurring compound in many plant species. And we have the ability now to isolate this molecule for certain purposes. And one of the things that we use it for is aiding and supporting the function of the thyroid gland in the human body. And when people are fatigued, one of the reasons is that they usually have what's called hypofunctioning of the thyroid gland. And again, when that's happening, people don't feel good. And so as part of our design, we wanted to work on the brain. We wanted to work on the liver. We wanted to have compounds that work on arthritic changes in the body, compounds that cause the liver to cleanse and clean up the body from the toxic world that we live in. And I get excited about when I think about it. Taurine, another compound. Again, there's junk products in the market from taurine. And then there are good levels of it. But in Japan, from years of research, they learned that there was some incredible abilities of that. So we use some of the highest grade taurine from the Japanese market in our product. What were our products designed to do? Well, each individual product was designed around product-to-product synergy. Products that work together, ingredients that work together. So when we look at GreenZilla and our other products, we've got a product called Shapeway, and we'll be talking about it tomorrow. But when we take GreenZilla with any other of our products, it ramps up the ability of those products to work even better. So with Shapeway, we're going to get an enhancement of energy metabolism. We're going to increase the energy. It's going to suppress hunger. And in America, not so much in Japan, but in America, we desperately need a hunger suppression tool. And we have that in our product. In performance, again, help and magnify the ability for energy performance and endurance. Helps muscles to recover faster. And we'll see a story about that here in just a moment. And with our Premium Focus product, again, gives you the ability, because of that energy and brain balancing, thinking and clear ability for thought is critically important. So mental acuity is certainly impacted. An additional support to the immune system with this product. Overall improvement of cellular function. So our products, again, have been designed to impact the entire whole body. In 2000, I was board certified in the field of anti-aging medicine, and one of the things that GreenZilla and the rest of our products do is help you age gracefully. And that's a critical issue for millions of people and consumers around the world. They want to look good and feel good. So our products, all of them, GreenZilla, Focus, Performance, and Classic, Shapeway, all of our products are tremendous health and wellness tools. So they work together, they're incredibly designed, they provide raw materials to the body so the body can do what it's designed to do and heal itself. And that's all incredible and that's all academic. But the question always becomes, does our product work? And so we've had the opportunity, when we first started, we had a lot of professional athletes use our product, and they were the stimulus for the drive of what we did. So now I want to introduce a gentleman that's not only a world-class athlete, but some of the best human function in the world. And I want you to hear what he has to say about our incredible product, GreenZilla. Thank you.